tolerance. It is something I believe we need to teach our children. It is something that I have taught when in the classroom. Like, I did this through different units of work, and they were probably like some of my favorite ones, especially when the kids got to like work on individual projects on that and what they learned and what they came up with. Tolerance is also something I'm working on with my girls because we need it. And I don't just mean like I tolerate you, like, oh, I'm just going to put up with you. No, tolerance, like we need it. We live in a diverse society and no two people are fully the same, not even identical twins. Hi, and welcome to Learning Life. And thank you so much for watching today. I am speaking on something that is just really like close to my heart. And it is actually something that's an important aspect of our children's social and emotional development. I love teaching this. I love like learning about it. I love looking and just seeing what we can be doing like with this whole part of like tolerance. Now, I know that I did a video like on teaching compassion. You can check out that link below because, you know, these things, they all sort of tie in. And this is really like what our children need. And so if you haven't checked out that video, you could check that out. You know what? And thank you so much for watching and for being part of this learning life. I am so thankful for every like and subscribe and comment that you leave. Now, as I said, tolerance, is that important? Like, it's important for our children, for their social development, their emotional development. They listen to and they learn from us, right? I know that my girls like learn from me. And yes, they learn the good things. And yes, I also learn like the language that comes out when mummy is tired and frustrated. But, you know, they learn from us. So it really is important that we are modeling and showing tolerance in our own lives. What is tolerance? As I said, it's not just like I tolerate you, I put up with you. No, tolerance is the capacity and the ability to accept differences in others. And I think that that can be a challenge for some people. I really do, like that we would accept differences in others. You know, and these differences can be age and sex and religion and nationality and culture. And it also like revolves around beliefs. I've heard too often from children, like in my classrooms or like in other situations, I'm like, they're dumb or that's stupid or, you know, like there's something wrong with that person because of like how they look. And, you know, there's really no willingness to see that there might be another side to it, or it is just simply a difference. You know, some of these differences are easily seen, okay, like color of skin or like limb differences. Maybe we're missing part of a limb or we've got a prosthetic or something like that. But some are not easy to see, and that's like religion or nationality. But whether or not we can see them, we need to teach tolerance. Why teach tolerance? I think I can sum that up in one sentence. Because we want to raise children who become kind and wonderful adults. I really think that's the main thing, like adults who are kind. You know I don't want my girls to be jerks when they are older. And yes, jerks is a softer word from what I really don't want them to be. I want them to see others for who they are. I want them to see those differences and accept those differences and to not just be the ones like, I'm right and you're wrong. So I really think that we should be teaching it because we want our children to be these kind and amazing adults. Strategies to teach tolerance. Now, there are some easy things that we can do to teach tolerance, and this might feel like quite a list, but no, I think that they're all there in there, and we need to just do it. You know, if we make it part of our lives, it's easy to instill. And, you know, one of the things that we can do, of course, is like read different books that would, you know, teach this and like help this and open up discussions. And next video, I want to actually give you a list of books. You know, I think books are always a great way to start that dialogue, but it's not just, we can't just read and just leave it at that. We need to lead by example. Like children learn so much by observing the behavior of the adults around them. And I'm not just talking in the home, I'm talking in the community, I'm talking wherever they are. So if we can model that tolerant behavior, if we can be respectful and accepting of people from different backgrounds, cultures, and beliefs, then our children will as well. And notice that I'm saying like we're accepting, like we understand that there's these differences. I'm not saying that we have to agree with everything. No, but if we can accept that there's these differences, we are richer for it. And we want to encourage empathy because, our children need to understand and empathize with others. Okay, we need to see things from different perspectives. Others might feel differently to us in different situations. So let's teach them how we could actually do that. And let's celebrate diversity. I do love diversity. It is not a dirty word. We need to expose children to diverse cultures, to traditions, to thoughts and perspectives. And that is through books and movies and music and other media and all of these other things, because we want to encourage them to appreciate and learn about the different ways of life, because we have so many countries in this world and so many different ways of doing things. Let's learn about it and let's really appreciate it. And let's open, encourage communication. Let's create that safe environment. Let's create that place where our children feel comfortable discussing their thoughts and their feelings and to actually ask questions about differences. We want to encourage them to ask those questions and engage in those questions about diversity. If we see somebody out on the street who's in a wheelchair, can they kindly be asking, even if it's if they don't want to ask that person, there are so many things that we can be doing in opening these discussions. I think it's also important for our children to learn how to resolve conflicts peacefully and respectfully. We don't just throw a punch. We don't just throw a cutting word. But when we teach them those effective skills and problem solving, we're going to get there. And also teach the importance of compromise. That's been a hard one in our family for my girls, to really understand what compromise is and how it can be beautiful. Let's also promote inclusivity. Again, I feel lately that's become almost a dirty word. It's not. Let's include everyone. They may be different. Okay, they look different, they sound different. Okay, but why are we pushing them aside? No, let's include everyone in those activities and those social settings. Let's teach our children the value of making everyone feel welcome and included. And let's address those stereotypes and prejudices, because they are around. I have traveled to over 30 countries and, every country seems to have its stereotype. Every country has its prejudices, so how can we see beyond them? And how can we help our children understand that if we're going to hold on to these prejudices and these stereotypes, it's actually harmful to ourselves and to the others. Let's get rid of those attitudes. And, let's encourage that critical thinking. And help them challenge the stereotypes that they encounter. Yes, critical thinking is great, and we should be encouraging that. I think my girls almost roll their eyes when I'm start talking about critical thinking. I talk about it a lot. But, when we get information, when we're taking it in, can our children question it? Can they question those stereotypes? Can they actually question it to see biases or anything like that? Because when they can break that down and they can critically think, then they're going to be able to seek out different perspectives, diverse perspectives, and actually form their own opinions. And this is a really good thing. And that just really helps build into being someone who is truly tolerant. And we'll celebrate individuality. Okay? Help our children to understand it's okay to be different. It really is. And that diversity enriches our lives. I tell my girls, it would be boring if we all just looked the same and we sounded the same and we did the same things. That just sounds terrible to me. But let's encourage our own uniqueness. We might, we look different. We have different body shapes. We have all of these different things. We like different things. And let's appreciate the uniqueness of others. And providing opportunities for cultural exchange, cultural intake. Yes, can you find, is there a cultural festival that's happening in your area? Take your kids to this. Let them hear other languages, maybe even take a language class or go to a community event, go to different restaurants and experience different foods. I know my girls were telling someone, they're what? We're just children that like different cultural foods. We don't want the boring stuff. We like the flavors and of different cultures. And they keep going on about it. I'm like, darlings, maybe we better not just say the food around here is boring. Let's actually talk about, we actually really enjoy eating foods from many different cultures. But they do, I want to expose them to that and how other people live and how we do this. Because as I said, I don't want them being jerks. I don't want them being just adults that nobody likes. Adults who cannot appreciate others and their differences and their beauty and their uniqueness. And so, yes, this is a big thing for me. I just truly believe that we need to be teaching tolerance. And it is so easy to do. Everybody can do it. Okay, this is not just a faith thing or a non-faith thing. This is a human thing. This is how we are human and how we are kind. And so let's teach our children tolerance. As I said, in our next video, I'm going to introduce you to some books that are great ways to really just open up discussions to really be talking about tolerance. Well, thank you so much for watching today and being part of this learning life and letting me just bring you my heart on this. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot them below. I would love to answer them for you. And if you would like to be part of helping to get these videos out, you know what? I appreciate it. And I thank you so much. And you can do that by becoming a champion. So you can check that out at patreon.com or at my website, LearningThis.Life.